Welcome to JustLogin's video guide on how to configure and manage JustExpense module. Click on Expense and then go to Configuration. Currencies allow you to add in different currencies in which your staff might use to file their expense claims. You can enable the options Use Online Exchange Rate and allow users to edit the exchange rate. To add a new currency, click on the New Currency button. A pop-up window will appear. Select the currency you want to add from the drop-down and then click on Save Changes. To delete any unused currency, click on the X button. If the currency has already been used, you will not be able to delete. Next, Categories tab. Categories allow the company to create its own list of expenses. This is also where you can link JustExpense to payroll by defining the pay element that is associated with each category. To add a new category, click on New Category button, choose the logo, input the category name, type in the account code if any, and choose the pay element with which you want this category to be transferred to payroll. And then click on Save. To edit an existing category, click on the Edit button. Once you're done making the necessary changes, click on Save Changes. To delete, click on the X button, adjacent to the category you want to delete. Please do not delete a category that has been used before, as this will prevent you from generating reports for that category. You can use the Disable function instead for these kinds of instances. To disable, click on the Disable Enable button, and then Confirm. Moving on to Expense Preferences. Here you can set the fields that the users will see on the mobile app. Please put the tick on the Enable column for the fields you want to enable. You can also tag each field as mandatory. Report Preferences tab allows the administrator to set the field that is necessary before the staff's claim can be approved. Put the tick on the Enable column, and you can also set it to mandatory. On to the Taxes tab. You can configure and add new tax requirements here. To add, click on the New Tax button. Input the tax name and the tax rate and click on Save Changes. Note that you cannot delete any taxes that you have added. Let's now go to the Administration section. Please click on the Roles tab first. On the Roles tab, it shows the list of roles that will be assigned to each user as well as the description for each. By default, you will see 4 different roles in your system. You can also create, delete roles if necessary. To create a new role, click on Add Role button, enter the name, a brief description, and then tick on the different tasks that this role will have access to. After, click on Save. You can delete a role that you created by clicking on the X button. Notice that default roles cannot be deleted. Now on to the Users tab. Here you can assign the staff as a user for JustExpense module by putting a tick under the Expense User column. If a staff is ticked as an expense user, by default they will be assigned the Submitter role. You can assign a different role by clicking on the drop-down box and choose the role you want to assign. If you assign the staff as Approver, another field will show up, the Forwarding Officer field. Once the approving officer approves the submitted expense report, it will go to the forwarding officer for the next level of approval. On the Reports section, there are 2 different reports available. Expense reports will show the details of each of the submitted reports as well as the status of each. You can filter your search based on the particular period and the expense status. You can also download a PDF copy of the individual report by clicking on the report number. The Expense Summary report will show the expenses incurred as well as the amounts for each. This report can be downloaded on an Excel file by clicking on the Download button. The dashboard is available to all JustExpense module users. This is where users can see the summary of all submitted or unsubmitted expenses plus the statuses of each. What shows on the Quick Links portion will depend on the role assigned to the user. For a submitter, only expense and reports will show up. Thank you for watching the video guide on JustExpense.